Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss some more problems related to the combined bending and torsion. Okay. So the problem is shaft is supported by two bearings placed at a shaft is supported by two bearings placed 1 meter apart. So the shaft length is 1 meter. Okay, supported with the help of the bearings. The A and B are bearings. Okay. A 600 mm diameter pulley is mounted at a distance of 300 mm to the right of left hand bearing. So this is your left hand bearing. So bearing A is the left hand bearing. So from the left 300 mm distance to the right hand. So from A to right side 300 mm, that is 0.3 meter, and its diameter is pulley diameter is 600 mm. Okay, so the pulley diameter, that is C, the diameter is 0.6 meter or 600 mm. Left hand bearing, and this drives a pulley directly below it with the help of the belt having maximum tension. So in this pulley driven by a belt drive. Okay, and its maximum tension is 2.25 kilonewton. Okay, and another pulley is 400 mm diameter, is placed 200 mm to the left of right hand bearing. So the bearing B is the right hand bearing. So in that right hand bearing, the left side at a distance of 200 mm, the another one pulley is placed, its diameter is 400 mm. So from B left side 0.2 meter, that is 200 mm, another one pulley is fixed, that is D, and its diameter is 400 mm, that is 0.4 meter. Okay, and it is driven with the help of the electric motor and the belt, which is placed horizontally to the right. Okay, so in this the pulley D, it is placed horizontally. It is the belt is placed horizontally, whereas in your first pulley, here the word is pulley directly below it, and okay, the drives a pulley directly below it, so it is a vertical one. Okay, next the angle of contact for both pulleys, that is 180 degree. That is, if it is horizontal means it is always perpendicular. Okay, and its coefficient of friction is 0.24. Determine the suitable diameter for the solid shaft and allowing working stress of 63 megapascal, that is bending stress sigma B, and the tensile shear stress for tension, that is in tension means sigma B. In the bending we can get tensile or compressive. In the top side tensile means bottom side compressive. So sigma B is 63 megapascal, and 42 megapascal is shear, that is tau. Okay, of the material. Assume that the torque on one pulley is equal to that on the other pulley. Okay, so if the torque produced in the C pulley, it is equal to the D, because if the torque is produced in the C means it is transmitted to the shaft. In the shaft, the another pulley is attached, that is D. So the same torque is transmitted to the D pulley. Okay, so torque on both pulleys are equal. So this is your front view and this is your side view. Okay, here in the C pulley, the forces are acting downward, that is vertical, whereas in your D pulley, the forces are acting in horizontal. Okay, and its diameter, pulley D diameter is 0.4 meter, pulley C diameter is 0.6 meter. Okay, so the given data are here. The distance from A to C, D to B, and diameter of the pulley C, diameter of the pulley D, and your coefficient of friction, angle of contact, and tensile strength and shear strength. Okay, so from that, so if you are going to consider a pulley C, consider it is an pulley C. Okay, it is driven by some other pulleys with the help of the belt drives. Okay, so this is your belt. Okay, so this is one pulley and this is another pulley. Okay, so this is your pulley C, means consider it is a your pulley C. Okay, so in that pulley C, when it was rotating in a clockwise direction, this side is a tight side and this side is the slack side. In the pulley side, that is the meshing while the contacting of pulley and belt, when it was contacting means start to engage means, so that side is tight side. When it is disengage means or release the contact means, so that side slack side. Okay, so that side tension is called name it as T1 and the slack side tension is T2. Okay, so in your problem, so just assume this is T1 and this is T2. So in your T1 is the tension in the tight side and the T2 is the tension in the slack side. Okay, so the force is for T1, the value is given 2.25 kilonewton value is given. So that is your T1. So T1 is equal to 2.25 kilonewton, that is 2250 Newton. Okay. So this is the general formula in a belt drive tension formula. So that is 2.3 into log T1 by T2 is equal to mu theta, or it may be log T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta. Okay. So it has some derivation. So just remind it, or it is available in your data book. Okay. Go to the belt drive page. So this formula may be available in your data book. Okay. So 2.3 into log T1 by T2 is equal to mu theta, or log T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta. Both are equal. So from that here, we can get the 2.3 into log T1 by T2 is equal to mu theta. Here the mu value is 0.24 and the theta. Here theta is given in terms of degree, 180 degree. So it should be converted in terms of radians. So for converting degree into radians, we can get, you should multiply with pi by 180. So 180 cancel. So remaining is pi. So theta is equal to pi. The unit is radians. So substitute here. So 0.24 into pi is equal to 0.754. So therefore log T1 by T2 is equal to 0.754. The 2.3 take into right hand side. So we can get 0.328. So therefore T1 by T2 is equal to, taking anti-log. So T1 by T2 is equal to 2.127. So therefore already we know the value of T1. So substitute here, that is 2250. Substitute T1 value and we can get T2 value. Okay. So from this formula, the T1 value is given value and the mu theta, all the values are known values. So the unknown value is T2 only. So find T2 from this equation. So the T2 value is 1058 Newton. So therefore the tensile side, that is tension side, load is 2250 whereas in the slack side load is 1058 Newton. Okay. So in the tension side 2250, where in the slack side 1058. So therefore total load acting on the pulley C. So this is T1 side and this is T2 side. So therefore in the pulley C, the total load is, by adding these two T1 and T2, we can get total load. So therefore, so it is acting in a vertical direction. So therefore, vertical load acting on the shaft C. So WC is equal to T1 plus T2. So that is 2250 plus 1058, that is 3308 Newton. Okay. And whereas in a deep pulley, there is no vertical forces are there. So it is 0. At a D point, the vertical load is 0. Okay. At a C point, the vertical load is 3308, and at a D point, the vertical load is 0. So it is, you should represent in the diagram. Okay. So this is the diagram for that problem. So this is the space diagram. It is a simple diagram. Okay. So from that, you should mention the vertical load diagram. So in the vertical load diagram at C point, you already calculated the C point, the total load is 3308 Newton. And at D point, there is no vertical load, so that is equal to 0. Okay. And after that, you should calculate the torque. Okay. So here it is in tension side, and this is T2 is the slack side. Okay. So if you are creating a torque, or if you generate a torque, you should give a one side is a fixed one, or if the shaft is rotating in the this side, that is in a left hand, it should be rotated in a clockwise direction, and it should be in a anti-clockwise direction, means only it will create torque. Okay, that is in a shaft, the both ends are rotating in opposite direction, means you can get torque. Okay, otherwise the torque will not be generated. Okay, that is if the both shaft is both end the rotating in the same direction, means there is no torque is generated. Okay, so from that it is tensile force, the tension force, and this is slack force. Okay, so therefore the total force acting on the pulley is the difference between the load. Okay, so the difference between the load into the perpendicular distance. Here the perpendicular distance is, you should consider the radius of the pulley. Okay, here the shaft is attached. Okay, so in that shaft the torque will be generated based on the C pulley forces. So in the C pulley, the tension side is 2250 and the slack side is 1058. So when the torque is generated, means the difference between the two loads and multiply with the perpendicular distance, we can get the torque. So from this, the torque is equal to T1 minus T2 into radius of the pulley C. So 2250 minus 1058 into radius of the pulley. The radius of the pulley C diameter is 0.6 meter, so therefore radius is 0.3 meter. Okay, so into 0.3, so we can get the torque 357.6 Newton meter. Okay, And in your problem, assume that the torque on the pulley is equal to that on the other pulley. Okay, so if the torque is generated in the pulley C is equal to the torque generated in the pulley D. Okay, so simply you can write it as a TC is equal to TD, or otherwise for TD is equal to, similarly you can write similar formula for pulley D. So for pulley D, that is T3 minus T4. Here the tension side is T4 or T3 and the slack side is the opposite one. Okay, so T3 minus T4 into perpendicular distance, radius of the pulley D, or D is equal to your torque, that is TD, torque on the pulley D. So it is considered, the name is TC. So therefore TC is equal to TD. So that is equal to T3 minus T4 into RD. So that is equal to 357.6 Newton meter. So from that we know the RD value. The diameter of the pulley is given, pulley D is given. So from that we know the RD, radius of the pulley D. So therefore T3 minus T4 is equal to 1788 Newton. Okay, T3 minus T4 is equal to 1788. And so just consider in the shaft or in the pulley C, some torque is generated. Okay, the same torque is generated in the pulley D also. Okay, it is the condition. The torque on the pulley C and the torque on the pulley D is equal. So T1 by T2 is equal to T3 by T4. You can write it as a T1 by T2 is equal to T3 by T4. Okay, then only we can get the equal torque. So further T1 by T2 is equal to T3 by T4. So from that we know the T1 T2 value, or we know the ratio. T1 by T2 is equal to 2.127. So substitute here. So from that I can write T3 is equal to 2.127 T4. Okay, so T3 is equal to in terms of T4. So substitute this value into this term, that is T3 minus T4 is equal to 1788. So we can get T3 is equal to 3376 Newton and the T4 is equal to 1588 Newton. In a pulley D, the tension side load is 3376 and the slack side load is 1588 Newton. So therefore, similar to the pulley C. So therefore, total load acting on the pulley D. So in a pulley D, it is a horizontal load. Okay, so therefore, total horizontal load acting on the pulley D or shaft D at part D point. Therefore, WD is equal to T3 plus T4. So that is equal to 3376 plus 1588. You can get 4964 Newton. And there is no horizontal force or load acting on the pulley C. So at pulley C or at point C in a shaft, the WC value is 0. Okay. So it is also, you should mention in your diagram. So in this diagram, the horizontal load diagram is at a D point, you can get the value 4964, and at a C point, there is no horizontal load, so that is 0. and you already calculated the torque value. So the torque value is 357.6 Newton meter. Okay, so at C and at D the values are equal, so it is in a rectangular or uniform. Okay, the torque value already calculated, that is 357.6, and vertical load, horizontal load calculated. So draw individual diagram for that. Okay, so after calculating the vertical and horizontal load, you should calculate the reaction force for calculating the bending moment. Okay, you should know the this RAV, RBV, similarly RAH and RBH. So if you calculated the RAV and the RBV, you can get vertical bending moment diagram. And similarly, if you calculate RAH and RBH, means you can get horizontal bending moment diagram. So from the vertical and the horizontal bending moment diagram, you can get resultant bending moment diagram. Okay. So first we are going to discuss RAV and RBV. So first one, RAV and RBV. So in your vertical load diagram, so in this diagram, the total load acting on the shaft is 3308 only. Okay, the total load acting on the shaft is at C point 3308, at D point 0. So therefore, RAV plus RBV is equal to 3308. Okay, so RAV plus RBV is equal to 3308. So taking moment about A at a point A, taking moment about at point A, RBV is equal to, sorry, RBV into the perpendicular distance. So the perpendicular distance is 1 meter. So RBV into 1. Okay, consider this A point, taking moment about A point. So RBV into 1, it is a counterclockwise. Okay, and at a C point, while considering this force, it is a clockwise. Okay, so RBV into 1 is equal to 3308 into the perpendicular distance is 0.3. The perpendicular distance is 0.3. So from that we can get RBV into 1 is equal to 3308 into 0.3. So from that RBV is equal to 992.4 Newton. And already we know RAV plus RBV is equal to 3308. So from that we can calculate RAV. Okay. And by using this RAV and the RBV, we can calculate bending moment at C and the bending moment at D. So bending moment at C, so bending moment at C, what is the value? So bending moment at C, we know the RAV and RBV value. Okay. So bending moment at C, RAV into the perpendicular distance is 0.3, or otherwise RBV into 0.7. So bending moment at C, RAV into 0.3 or RBV into 0.7. You can take any one. Okay, RAV into bending moment at C, RAV into 0.3, or RBV into 0.7. So we can get bending moment at C. We can get RAV into 0.3 is equal to 694.7 Newton meter, or otherwise RBV into 0.7. The total length is 1. So 1 minus 0.3, 0.7. So RBV into 0.7 is equal to the same answer we can get. Similarly, bending moment at D. So consider this point. So for bending moment at D, RBV into the distance is 0.2. RBV into 0.2, or here two forces are there. One is RAV and another one is a 3308. So you can write RAV into the total distance is 0.8. Here 0.2. So from D point to A point 0.8. So RAV into 0.8, and this is upward force, and 3308 is a downward force. So minus 3308 into, from C to D, the distance is 0.5 meter. Okay, you can use any one. So RBV into 0.2 or RAV into 0.8 minus 3308 into 0.5. So from this we can get the vertical bending moment at D. The value is 198.5. So bending moment at C, due to the vertical component, the to C the bending moment is 694.7. Okay, 694,198. It was mentioned in our diagram. And similarly, now consider the horizontal component. So the similar way you should calculate the horizontal values also. So RAH horizontal component RAH and the RBH is equal to, your total load is 4964. At C there is no load. So your RAH plus RBH is equal to 4964. So taking moment about A. Okay. Taking moment about A. So RBH into 1 and is equal to 4964 into 0.8. So we can get, from that we can get the similar way, RAH value is equal to 993 and RBH value is 3971. Okay. RAH is equal to 99 something 993 and RBH is equal to 3971. Similarly, the bending moment at A and B is equal to 0 because it is a, that is fixed point. So in that fixed point there is no bending moment. So you should calculate bending moment at C and D. So in similar way, you should calculate the bending moment at C and bending moment at C and D for horizontal load diagram. So for bending moment at C, RAH into 0.3. Similarly, bending moment at D, RBH into 0.2. Okay, or otherwise you can use this formula. Instead of vertical, you should sum it horizontal. Okay. So by solving this, we can get bending moment at C 297.9 and the bending moment at D is 794.2. Okay. This is your vertical bending moment and this is your horizontal bending. At the C point, you know the vertical and the horizontal. Similarly, at the D point, you know the vertical and the horizontal. So from that we can calculate the resultant bending moment. So for resultant bending moment, formula is square root of horizontal squared plus vertical squared, or vertical squared plus horizontal squared, whatever it may be. So from these values we can get the resultant bending moment diagram. So at C, square root of 694.7 squared plus 297.9 squared, you can get 756. Similarly, bending moment at T, the resultant bending moment at T is equal to square root of 198.5 square plus 794.2 square, and we can get 819.2. Okay. So from this we can get the resultant bending moment at C 756 and the resultant bending moment at D 819. Okay. So the maximum bending moment is 819.2. So you should consider this value only, because design based on higher value only. Don't consider the lesser value or smaller value. Okay. So therefore the maximum bending moment is 819.2 at the D point. Okay. And already you know the formula, equivalent twisting moment TE is equal to square root of m squared plus t squared, where m is equal to 819.2 the whole square, and t is already we calculated torque 357.6. It was mentioned in our diagram also. So 357.6 is the torque value. So substitute in your equivalent twisting moment. So m value is already know 819.2, and t value is know 357.6 the whole square. So therefore equivalent twisting torque is equal to 894 into 10^3 Newton millimeter, or 894 Newton meter. Okay. So this is equal to, already we know the formula, this is equal to 5/16 into tau into d cube. The TE is equal to square root of m squared plus t squared, that is equal to 5/16 into tau d cube. Okay. So in this tau value is already given in our problem. So that is 42 megapascal, or 42 into 10^6 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. Sorry, 10^6 Newton per meter square. So while converting meter into millimeter, you can get 42 into 42 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. So substitute in your equation, and in this equation the unknown is diameter only. So from that we can calculate the diameter of the shaft. Okay. So in this problem, the sigma B value also given. Okay, tau value, shear value, and tension bending stress value also given. So you should consider the equivalent bending moment formula also. So therefore ME is equal to, already we know the formula, 1/2 into m plus square root of m squared plus t squared. This square root of m squared plus t squared is equal to, already we know, TE. So that it was replaced here. Okay. So we can write the equivalent bending moment formula is ME is equal to half m plus TE. So we know the bending moment, maximum bending moment is 819.2, substitute, and TE value is already calculated. So that is 894 in terms of meter. So the total equivalent bending moment is 856.6 into 10^3 Newton millimeter. And already we know the equivalent bending moment formula, that is equal to 5/32 sigma B d cube. The sigma B value is given in our problem, that is 63 megapascal, that is equal to 63 Newton per millimeter square. So from that the unknown is D only. So from that you should calculate the diameter of the shaft. So according to equivalent twisting moment, the diameter is 47.6. According to equivalent bending moment, the diameter is 51.7. So you should consider the maximum diameter value only. So therefore, the diameter is equal to 51.7 or 52 or 55. Okay. If you have any doubt in this problem, ask. So in this problem, if you have any doubt, please ask. So first you should calculate the torque. Okay. So for calculation of torque, you should know the total load on the at the point C and the point D. Okay. It is T1, T2. Similarly, for pulley D, T3, T4. You should calculate the T1, T2, T3, T4. So from that, you can calculate the torque value at C and the torque value at D. Okay. And after that, by calculating the reaction force due to the vertical component and due to the horizontal component, due to the vertical force and horizontal force, you should calculate the reaction force. So from that reaction force, you can calculate the bending moment. So horizontal component bending moment and vertical component bending moment. Finally, calculate the resultant bending moment. So from the resultant bending moment, you should consider the maximum value. Okay. Design should be based on the for maximum values only. Don't design for a lesser value or lower values for any component. Okay. So in this problem, two bending moment we can get. One is 756 and 819. So from that you should 819.2. Okay. So for that we can get the equivalent twisting moment while substituting equivalent twisting moment. You can get the diameter value is 47.6. And similarly, in a equivalent bending moment, the diameter is 51.7. So two diameters are getting. So from that, you would choose the maximum diameter, that is 51.7. Then only it will transfer the required. Okay, what are the requirements are given in your problems? So that amount of force or load only transfer with the help of this amount of diameter of the shaft. Okay, if you choose 47.6 means it will definitely affect or it will easily failure. Okay. So remaining we will discuss next class. If you have any doubt in this problem, please ask. No doubt.